Hello, this is Cotton Stoops, and in today's Lumen Legacy HTUC video, I'm going to be helping you guys know how to use and counter Verinosaur. This video is going to go over aspects that will include knowing how to use this in your battles with the roles and sets, as well as, of course, knowing how to team build around it by knowing its counters and checks and putting those teammates to good use. So today's video is all about how to use and counter Verinosaur. The role that Verinosaur is basically based on its base stats here. It's really simple. The best thing you want to know about Verinosaur is that it has some pretty bad range attack and range defense. This is similarly to U-Typhoon, however its range defense is swapped with its melee defense. Its HP, energy, and they're all the same as well. Your melee defense is now swapped from its range defense from U-Typhoon, so now you have 95. This gives you somewhat good melee bulk. It lets you get the jump and wall stuff like Tab even if you're not an offensive or defensive variant. No matter what, this energy is decent enough. It gets you up to a pretty good benchmark with minimal investment. And your melee attack 115 and speed 104, same as your counterpart. And this will of course make you seem like a pretty good melee cleaner or sweeper, even if you're not the best one at that role. That's basically the role you're trying to play. And of course, its defensive typing is increasing its defensive capabilities. While it does have a lot of bad weaknesses to light, metal, and ancient, all common types, as well as earth and mine being notable ones to be taking note of, it does have some useful resistances, namely to fire, water, electric, spirit, toxic, brawler, heavy resistance to plant, and an immunity to earth. This means that this also walls stuff like Baneki and Tab, mainly Tab. That's pretty much the most common one out of the bunch. And you can of course, swap it into other waters that may seem problematic. So overall, Verinosaur seems pretty decent. And based on this, you can tell that it does have specific metagame matchups, and of course it does have a pretty good cleaning and sweeping potential. The main way you want to use Verinosaur is by, of course, making it be pretty solid in its cleaning and sweeping role. You have the setup, you have the coverage, and you have the abilities. Just might as well go roll with it. So the set for Verinosaur is going to be a fast, nimble set. The ability of choice here is going to be Brutal Wrath. I recommend this the most considering it does a lot of damage with the poison. Of course, this will not be the only ability you can run. You can run Venomous considering you do not have like the best support for poisons right now, at least in this game. So Venomous is much more consistent, but Brutal Wrath is recommended for maximum damage. Your personality is going to be nimble to outspeed as much as possible, while your moveset, Baneful Bash, Primal Slash, they're your best stabs and the most consistent ones. You could run Venom Slash over Baneful Bash in case you want the crit chance. Mega Punch actually is going to be your other move option. You can run Poison Barbs instead of Primal Slash or Mega Punch because it will help you pressure hazards on the opposing team, and then of course it will activate your Brutal Wrath ability whenever something gets poisoned. Your Sharpen is going to be the last move that you can run. Sharpen is very recommended. This will help you boost your damage even if it's only by +1. And then your item is going to be the Toxic Essence. I would suggest this the most considering you just need the damage from the toxic side of things, while the Rageful plushie is going to be your other option. Verinosaur, especially at +2 with your Brutal Wrath activated, is so strong. If I were you and you want more high damage potential and putting Verinosaur on a more focused team, then I would use Rageful plushie. Of course, Toxic Essence is for any Verinosaur, no matter what team composition, so I would really run that. And then these are the TPs. For energy, it doesn't really matter at this point. You can even put 28 energy so you can get to 250. The energy rule doesn't really apply much to Verinosaur. It already has low base power or low base energy moves. 200 melee attack, 200 speed, max those out, and then 96 HP are the leftovers. So admittedly, the counters and checks aren't really a lot because honestly, if I were to really say and sit down here and tell you guys, Verinosaur is breaking through stuff with poison. Like, for example, these are the stuff that I would really suggest for stopping Verinosaur. You can notice a few off-meta Lumions such as Diborg and Smolder, but everything else, these guys do pretty well. And that's mainly due to the fact that Poison is going to be, and Brutal Wrath will make it very hard for the opponent to actually wall it. Obsidian, Yursnack, Gargolem Defense, well not Gargolem Defense, but Obsidian and Yursnack, they're going to be having a harder time of breaking through it, especially if they're poisoned. Same goes for some things like Soulburst Gasstroke, or maybe you can even count some metal types like Seer Knight. There's going to be having a lot of problems when it comes to getting poisoned, and because of how strong Brutal Wrath is, it kind of limits down the answers. However, if you are not poisoned, then using the regular melee walls like Obsidian, they're going to be fine. Your revenge killing options are Zulong and Clan Torch, also goes for anything with a speed tier, and then your teammates are very simple here, in my opinion. So Dusket, especially after PvP 2.0, so it has 132 range attack, is going to be very dangerous because Dusket is going to be getting that Poison Barbs boost with Mean Spirited, so it's going to be very strong. Other than this, you have fire types, which helps bait in the metal walls that I've really mentioned, and it does do very well against the meta melee walls, which is pretty decent. And then I would also suggest Dragoon, as Dragoon resists most of, or it does resist most of its matchups and resistances. So Dragoon here is just a very good teammate for this Lumion. So overall, I think Verinosaur definitely has one of that potential. Verinosaur does a lot of work, especially when the teams are poisoned, but again, that requires a lot of setup. Poison Barbs, as admittedly as it may sound, it may not be the best hazards right now, specifically because Gargolem Defense is running everywhere, and you got some toxic types such as Alvantic and Benelin making a return to OU. So while I think that Verinosaur has a lot of potential with poison and Poison Barbs, I don't think it's going to be that great as of this moment, mainly because of Poison Barbs just being too inconsistent for him. However, it does have the potential and it will be rewarded. Make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see more of these type of videos. I have 2 more Fossil Lumions to do. Oh my gosh. But anyways, this is Cotton Stoops signing off to remind you that Zulong is still a dumpster fire.